Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Professor Amit Jadhav. Today we are going to start with the third unit, and that is most important. In that, we are going to see about the investigation, evidence presentation, and legal aspects of digital forensic. So, in last few chapters, we had learned that how to collect the evidence by using different ways and different tools. What are the different tools are available to collect the evidence? In this lecture, we are going to see how the evidence present and legal aspects of digital forensic. So the all the investigation of into computer security incidents required to collect the information, especially you will accumulate host-based evidence, network-based evidence, and different non-technical evidence, so that you can determine what happened and the way the incident might resolve. An investigation is needed if any cyber crime takes place, like online fraud, child abuse, electronic tampering, violation of security policies or procedure, etc. So the digital evidence should be get by using the different tools and techniques, and that we are going to learn in a cyber forensic. So that different digital crime happen day by day, and to collect the evidence there are different ways to collect the evidence, like restore image, then create the forensic image. So these are the different ways that are used to collect the evidence. But after collecting it, we must put it in a code. And so for that, the different ways are available that we are going to see in this chapter. So let's first see what is evidence. The evidence is any information of supporting value, that means which proves something or help to prove something relevant to the case. So the evidence are nothing but the supporting value. Whenever the crime happen, we need the evidence, because without that we cannot prove the things, right? So the digital evidence, because we concern with the cyber crime, so we need to collect the digital evidence. The digital evidence consists of the data on a computer, images, audios, and videos files. It is a data and information of value to an investigation that is stored on an electronic device, received or transmitted by an electronic machine. So the digital evidence are nothing but the evidence that available on a digital environment, like audio video files, then data that is stored in a electronic device, that are known as the digital evidence. You can acquire the evidence when the data or the electronic machines are seized. Examples of evidence are fingerprint, DNA files on the system, etc. The problems in acquiring the digital evidence: the digital evidence are very sensitive. They can be easily modified, damaged, or destroyed. And it is also time sensitive, because sometimes the data get lost whenever the PC get turned off. So the data which are in the RAM, that is volatile data, and that should be collected first. Otherwise, it get vanish. So there are different places from where we can get the digital evidence. For example, computer, external hard drive, floppy drive, that we are not using right now. The fourth one, pen drive, CD and DVD and thumb drives. So here we can get the digital data or digital evidence. Others are cell phone, mobile phone, then voice over IP answer machines, answering machines, iPods, PDA, electronic game devices, digital video records, digital cameras, PDS, GPS, servers, routers, switches, wireless access points, fax machine, printers and buffer files, photos, copies, buffer files, scanners and buffer files. So these are the devices from where we can get the digital evidence. Then the type of evidence. There are different types of evidence. First one is the real evidence, documentary evidence, testimonial evidence, and demonstrative evidence. So the first one is the real evidence. Real evidence are the something that one carry into the courtroom and show it in front of jury. So the real evidence is the most powerful evidence. The evidence is typically speaks for itself. So the real evidence, that is nothing but the live evidence, uh, that we can put it to the court and that speak itself. That means that evidence are enough to prove the case, prove our things. Next one is the documentary evidence, the evidence which is in the written form, is nothing but the documentary evidence. For example, server log, email database document, etc. The documentary evidence might be fake by a professional PC user and therefore must be authenticated to be admissible in a courtroom. Continually produce the original document, do not use the copy. So the document evidence are nothing but the evidence that collect by the forensic team. Maybe it's a email, server log, database documents, or any documentary. Maybe it can be created duplicate because of the digital environment where we can create anything digitally. So it it should be authenticated before it presented in a court. Okay, third type, testimonial evidence. The testimonial evidence is nothing but the statement of witness underneath oath, either in a court or by deposition. This sort of evidence normally helps or validates the alternative types. So whenever the any any person give the oath, that is also considered as a evidence. म्हणजे ज्याला आपण काय म्हणतो की साक्ष साक्ष जी दिली जाते किंवा एखादं स्टेटमेंट दिलं जातं तर त्याला पण आपण काय म्हणतो ॲज अ इव्हिडन्स म्हणून कोर्टमध्ये कन्सिडर केलं जातं अँड दॅट इज नोन ॲज द टेस्टिमोनियल इव्हिडन्स. अँड लास्ट वन इज द डेमॉन्स्ट्रेटिव्ह evidence. The demonstrative evidence recreates or explains the different evidence. Demonstrative evidence does not talk for itself and use it demonstrate and make clear the previous point. The sort of evidence is maximum helpful in explaining the technical topics uh, to non-technical audience. So these are the things that technically prove using means for example any audio or video clip, that is the example of the demonstrative evidence. Or we can create the scene, that means that prove how the incident has happened. So this is nothing but the demonstrative evidence. Next one is the evidence characteristics. First, admissible, authentic, complete, reliable, and complete. These are the different types of evidence. So first one is the admissible evidence ought to be acceptable. If the proof you reveal won't stand up in a court, you have squandered your time and conceivably allow a guilty party to go unpunished. So the evidence must be admissible by the court. Next one, it must be authenticated. That means the proof that we can put up into the evidence that put it in a code, that must be a before it put it in a code, that must be authenticated. Authenticated means uh, it sure that the giving document is a truth ones. The invitation must be maybe reveal evidence that is interesting but now relevant. Next one is the complete evidence ought to be complete. The specialist ought to approach the case with no assumptions about the somebody's blame or the blamelessness. The criminological routines ought to be take out the option the suspect clarification until the unstable conclusion is come to. So the evidence must be complete. Next one, it should be reliable. That means the proof are reliable. It cannot be updated or the change. Evidence ought to be reliable. There ought to be no doubt about the reality of the specialist decision. The reliability originates from the standardization and verify forensic tools and technique. Qualification of specialist as an expert witness for the case will set up believability and reliability. So the evidence that should be put in a court, that must be a reliable and complete, that is repeated again. Yeah. So these are the characteristics of the evidence. Oh, so next point is authorization to collect evidence. So who can collect the evidence? There must be an authorization. So the digital evidence can be fragile and exceedingly delicate. Cybersecurity experts understand the estimation of the data and regard the way that it well may be effectively compromised if not appropriately handled and ensured. So the digital evidence may be get changed. So it's very delicate because anyone can update it using the different tools and techniques. So therefore, it is the basic setup and pursue the strict guidelines and procedure for exercises identified with computer forensic investigation. Such procedure can incorporate delayed instructions about when the computer forensic agents are authorized recuperate potential digital evidence, how the appropriate repair system and evidence recovery, where to store and recover evidence, and how the record. These exercises help guarantee the authenticity of the information. So the person from the computer forensic can collect the evidence, or and they are the authenticate to collect the evidence because they are properly trained, and then they must know that how to handle such type of digital evidence. In criminal cases, the law information agencies train the person as the technicians to make sure the preservation of the evidence. So the digital evidence are very delicate. They can be updated or can be modified using the different tools and techniques. So the technician must handle it carefully. They follow strict procedure for the forensic cybersecurity divisions have to set forth rules of governance for all the digital activity inside an organization. So the technician should follow all the procedures strictly, and also it follow the government rules. Action for the collecting the evidence are defined by the law enforcement, such as the where to look for said evidence and how to handle it once it has been retrieved. Before the investigation, it is important to understand the warrant and authorization. In criminal matters, there are laws related to such warrant. So there are some procedure to collect the evidence and put it into the court. The evidence that receive must be authenticated, and the importance of warrant and authorization are there. The civil matters, the company officer has a right to collect the evidence. The company officer are not trained in civil proceedings. It assumes that the company is able to investigate their equipment without a warrant, providing the privacy and human rights of employees are observed. So in company, the officer can collect the evidence. If the officers are not trained, then also the court believes that the they can handle the tools efficiently. Any individual who can using the computer system can collect the data from the system. For example, a wife can collect data from husband computer or vice versa. So who can collect the data? So the anyone who know about the who knows the computer can collect the data. Next point is too big. that we cover in the next lecture. Here we end the session. So if you have any doubt, you can contact me on my WhatsApp number. Here we end the session. Thank you for watching.